Perception, he is the one that created, and people created this. We were at the maidens. There was two maidens. There was the land maiden and there was the sea wind maiden. The sea wind maiden, I believe she's the one on the right-hand side. She's basically saying what she's representing is that Rome is in control of the Mediterranean. And if Rome is in control of the Mediterranean, Augustus is in control of Rome. So that means he's in control of the Mediterranean. On the other side, it's the land. It's showing that he's in control of the land. If Rome is in control of the land, then Augustus is in control of the land. It also represents fertility, that he will live on through the next generation and the next generation, because they pass it on from generation through the males, correct? So he will live on through prosperity of acquiring more lands, acquiring fertility of having children, and that will continue on. So images of fertility, images, that's basically what they're reflecting right here in that particular. Oh, there it is. What is amazing about this piece is this stuff right here, the foliage, the plants. This is a documentation in stone of all the different kinds of plants that were indigenous to the area at the time. This is it's kind of like a Rosetta Stone, but instead of language, it's talking about botany, the plants that were around during this time. And look at the detail that is being created. This is called high relief. There's low relief, there's high relief. This would be considered high relief because look at how far it pops out. This whole piece is an example of high relief. And done in great detail. This, when you go visit, they have this key for you to look at, where it shows a picture of how it is and how it looks on the altar, and then it gives you the picture of the plant that you're looking at too. So again, it's a great key for people to study what was around during that time period. It still exists. Crocus flowers still exist today in the wild. Flavian's amphitheater, the Colosseum. I know you've heard some about it, but I'm going to go into bigger detail about it. The main reason this was built, why? Anybody remember? Pardon? Was it for entertainment? It was for an entertainment, but there was a bigger political move. What was that huge political move of why this was built? Yes?
Wasn't it so that people forgot, like, they didn't have, like, food and stuff like that?
Yeah, and do you guys remember who the emperor was prior to this? The crazy guy that supposedly fiddled when Rome started? Nero. So this was to erase Nero's cruelism. This was to erase the image of a cruel emperor. And Vespasian is the one that did this. He's the one that started it. Unfortunately, he didn't get to see the finish of it because he died and his son took over before it was finished. So in 80 AD, he decided to erase the image of Nero, and you know what he did? He built it right where Nero had his huge palace area. And this is built over the pond. He created this huge pond. Nero was cruel. He was extravagant. He built many palaces. He brought in imports of marble, gold, and he worked people to death, literally. And he was a cruel leader. So this was a way to get rid of that image. Propaganda again. 8 years to build. It also illustrates the scale and the strength of the Roman Empire.
Who built it again?
Vespasian. I think his name shows up somewhere along the slides. I've read a couple different things about the seating. I've read between 45,000 and 50,000. The clip that you're going to see says that it seats 70,000 people. So, you know, right around that area, you might hear different figures about how many. I suppose it depends on how close they sit together. And, of course, what I'm interested in is the miles of growing bolts that are being used to create this, that whole engineering of the Romans and their understanding of arches and what arches can do and what arches can do for expanding it. Titus is the one that is the son that actually had the opening ceremonies that finished it. Here's what it looks like from the outside. There's 4 floors to this place, and of course the subfloor below. So there's 4 floors. The first floor basically has 3 floors of arches, the round Roman arches. The arches vary between 32 and 42 feet high, depending on what level you're on. And the height of this is 144 feet. The arena area, depending on where you're looking at the arena, whether